Welcome to another deep dive. You ready to get those culinary minds churning?
Always. What are we digging into today?
Today it's all about the viral rice cake sensation taking over TikTok. The one from a cook named Matt on YouTube. We're going to see what makes these rice cakes so special, maybe even figure out why they're so popular. What makes food go viral these days?
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that one. It's interesting how this simple dish kind of combines traditional techniques with, well, a very modern, very online presentation. Food trends.
Exactly. Okay, so right away, Matt stresses using short grain sushi rice.
Yeah.
He even shows his whole rinsing method, strainer over the sink, all that. It really makes you think about all the little details that matter, even in like the most basic steps.
Oh, absolutely. The type of rice. That is fundamental here. Short grain rice, it's got a higher starch content than other variety.
Right.
And that's what gives these rice cakes that sticky, that compact texture that we're looking for, right?
Right. It all comes together when he presses them overnight, too, which is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, and that pressing, that's where that starch really comes into play. It binds the rice together as it presses, so you get that wonderful chewiness. It's like a key part of, that textural satisfaction.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of satisfaction, let's talk toppings. Matt doesn't skimp here. He uses hamachi, yellowtail, which he says is best served raw.
Good choice.
Then he torches ramps, throws in some, wait for it, umeboshi, pickled plums. They've got this like salty, sour punch. Man, I love umeboshi.
Bold move, bold move. I like it. Those toppings, they work so well together. They create this really intriguing interplay of flavors.
It does sound like a total flavor explosion.
It is. Think about it. The hamachi brings this richness, right?
Yeah.
This buttery kind of counterpoint to that neutral rice cake base. Then you've got the ramps with their subtle sweetness and that oniony depth.
Right.
And then the umeboshi. It's the star. It cuts through all that richness with like a sharp, salty tang, adds this unexpected layer of complexity. It really highlights the power of balancing contrasting flavors. It's like a fundamental principle in modern cuisine.
Totally. It's like kimchi fried rice or gochujang, It's that same kind of contrast, sweet and spicy.
Exactly. It's everywhere these days.
Okay, so back to the rice cakes, right? Remember how they're pressed overnight? Once they're ready, Matt cuts them into cubes. He's even done star shapes before.
Oh, I saw that. Very festive.
Presentation matters. But here's the real kicker. He dusts them with cornstarch so they don't stick together. Genius.
It is. It's more than just a clever trick, though, right? I mean, yeah, it keeps the rice cakes from sticking, but it also creates this like really delicate, crispy texture when he fries them.
Oh, so it's a texture thing, too.
Yeah. Subtle but significant, It shows how much thought Matt puts into textures, how they can elevate a dish. It's like he could even use arrowroot powder instead of cornstarch. That'd give it a lighter, even crispier finish.
Oh, interesting. Now, for the grand finale, he fries those rice cakes in. You guessed it, rice oil. Apparently, it's his go-to for everything.
It makes sense. I mean, yeah, he could use grapeseed oil, avocado oil, the usual suspects. But rice oil, it adds another layer of flavor connection.
Oh, I see. It all ties back to the rice.
Right. It creates this really cohesive theme. It's like a subtle echo of the main ingredient. It just ties everything together. It's like, another example of that really thoughtful approach to flavor building.
So it seems like there's actually a ton of thought and technique behind this recipe that, on the surface just looks like a simple, trendy TikTok thing.
Right.
It really shows you that even viral food trends can have a lot of depth and complexity.
It makes you wonder, right? Like, what other traditional dishes are out there just waiting for their moment in the viral spotlight?
Yeah.
What kind of crazy ingredient combos or techniques could we use to elevate those everyday foods and, capture the internet's attention?
Yeah. It's pretty amazing what a little creativity can do. That's food for thought, right? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive.
Of course. It was fun.
Always great to chat with you. Till next time.